Hello everyone, today I want to talk about another AI video generation method I'm using recently with the Flux model. I still see social media posts where people are using boring camera panning style AI video scenes, even though new generations of AI video models are now in the market. I don't know why this happens. With the new Diffusion Transformer AI model, we're able to create more actions for each scene or cinematic movie style, even using image-to-video methods. Again, image-to-video generation heavily depends on how your image structure is created. This is the workflow I've newly developed for the recent AI videos I talked about. Using Minimax and Kling AI, I'm able to produce similar styles for the characters. You can create consistent characters as well as faces, and so far everything works well, solving consistency problems using Flux. When we talked last time, we discussed the Flux Lora training web UI that lets you easily train your own Lora models in Flux. Before Flux's release, I talked about using stable diffusion and large language models to create story scenes and build characters, including outfit designs, backgrounds, characteristics, and all character-related details. We could build using large language models and stable diffusion, but the problem was that without Flux Lora, some scenes were inconsistent, like in my previous old AI short stories on X.com. While Face Swap helped maintain the face, some character facial expressions were lacking when using stable diffusion and face swap techniques. After Flux released, we can create Lora models and make very consistent characters using Flux Lora models. For example, in this AI short story, I built 3 characters with outfits sharing similar color tones. The hair remained consistent too, and even at the end of this video, the character styles stayed consistent. You can see the emotions in the faces, especially in this horror movie Halloween short story. The wrinkles and everything can be created using facial expressions, unlike before when we had motionless character faces. Let's check out how we can do this using my latest rebuilt workflow for creating AI video scenes. With Minimax AI Video Generator, even with multiple characters, I'm using face swap but haven't trained individual Loras for each character because there are over 10,000 soldiers in the background. It's impossible to train Loras for each character in this case. Instead, I just get 1 or 2 characters like this one and the one beside it using the character face as the reference image for face swap. We can still do facial expressions for the face swapped character. In this workflow, we go through steps like using image-to-image and text-to-image to build the image structure first. Then we add features like the facial expressions editor we discussed in previous videos, where you can drag and drop settings and slide different controls to modify or manipulate character facial expressions in the AI image. For example, with this witch standing on top of Rome doing magic spells, holding up her hand with energy effects, everything matches what I need for my AI video scenes. But for facial expressions, we can't let the character have a static, motionless face. Instead, we need an open mouth to show the character doing magic spells and talking. The scene starts capturing from this frame, and after adding facial expressions using face settings on this custom node, we can make the mouth open and the eyes look at the purple magic energy on her hand. This is another way to add facial expressions to your character's face. Or, if you have your own trained Lora, which I discussed previously, the Flux Gem is one of the easiest web UIs for Lora training, especially for Flux models. You can use that to train Lora models there. Lastly, we get the character's face in case we need to restore it from our input image or the generated image in the previous workflow group. Once we have this image, for example, this facial expressions output image, we bring it to face restore using our own dedicated face image for the actors in this short story. To do that, we enable these features. As you can see, I have multiple features for image creation such as text-to-image with ControlNet condition models, image-to-image, and lastly, Inpaint for Flux. It's not too fancy for each group, but when we combine all these groups, we can make very decent images for whatever pose or style we want in our AI short stories or movies. Here, I've done face swapping, bringing my dedicated character, the AI model girl's face, to replace the witch in these video scenes. Before editing the face, we can also inpaint areas like this part where the source image looks unnatural. Here we have the previous result. The energy around the characters looked unnatural, more like lightning. After inpainting, it's better, feeling like a U-shaped trapping energy on the witch's hand. The witch's outfit also looks better than in the first generated result. After finishing all these text prompt operations, we bring it to the SDXL resampler and upscaler. I've defined two SDXL groups here: the sampling-only group for image refining and refiner by segmentation. You can select hands, body, face, etc. for the detailed output image. Lastly, with image upscalers. Let's try this image and continue working on it. With this satisfactory image output, you see the image underscore face underscore restore. These getSet nodes define the output coming from this image. We bring that to the refiner by sampling only. This group is simple, but I've adjusted settings on the KSampler and face detailer text prompts. When you click Run, it starts the next group. The sampling refiner makes the whole image more detailed and sharper with overall enhancement. Notice the purple magic energy has more color variations from middle to outer edges, creating a more dynamic feel. After that, you can use upscalers to upscale the image. This is basic Ultimate SD upscale using Tile Control Net, as I've demonstrated before. It's the same upscaler method I use for other workflows, but I'm approaching it differently here with SDXL Refiner by Segment. I'm using SDXL because it loads faster and allows selective refinement of specific regions, so we don't need too much Flux model computing in one instance. For example, to refine the hand, we selected on the segment Ultralytic segment providers, the B-box, face, or whole person segment. You can segment just the B-box by detecting the eyes. I won't detail the segmentation refinement or detailed segmentation using the impact pack here, as many previous tutorials explain that. Check those out if you need the concept before running this. Finally, after all fine-tuning and refinement, we bring its image upscaler. For this one, I'm using SDXL models in the SDXL refiner groups, specifically RealVis 3.0 Turbo, and I've also used RealVis version 5. It depends. Sometimes I want to generate quickly and just use the turbo versions. That's it for the whole upscaler. I'm choosing SDXL for this part because it loads faster for each AI video scene. When creating AI videos, most time isn't spent on the AI video generation itself, it's spent creating image scenes for each action produced in Flux. If you're non-technical and prefer Midjourney, you'll spend most time creating scenes and describing each one in detailed text prompts. With diffusion transformer models like Flux, we can use natural language to describe more details about how each image will look, which is why we can build very specific actions or poses, even using text-to-image. For more specific poses, I can use a reference pose. For example, here I have another image to reference the depth map of the witch standing, with hand and magic energy around. I can make energy with different forms here. This whole process is based on the first text-to-image output result. I didn't like these examples where the magic feels like smoke in the background, so I started changing the magic energy from purple smoke to more energy-like effects in the image-to-image groups. Then I brought it to Flux Inpaint, focusing only on highlighting the hands and energy in this mask area from the image-to-image generated result. After generating several times using image-to-image, it looked close to what I needed for the energy. I brought these image frames to the InPaint area to edit only the energy appearance and how the hands hold it. Then I got something close to my expectations. Lastly, I used face swap for my previously created character to replace the face. If you've already built characters in Flux Lora, you don't need these face swap groups. Once you generate in Flux group, the face is already there. You might just need facial expressions to open the mouth slightly and make the eyes focus on the energy area before bringing it to the final refiner. I've highlighted the get notes in purple for each group you need to change. For example, in the refiner by sampling only groups, instead of the face restore output image, I want the facial expressions image. Select from the drop-down menus here to edit this image output as the refiner group's input image for VAE encoding. The same concept applies to SDXL refiner by segment. You can refine hands or face here. Let's try one example live in this video. This time I won't use face swap. Instead, I'll use Lora models with the character already built. Let's use the previous AI movie character as a base, and instead of purple energy, we'll use red energy to see the difference. In the text prompt conditioning, I've defined separate text boxes for precise scene definition. The first box defines the character, The second specifies background or locations. The third describes character, object motions, and actions. And the last defines scene camera styles like ultra-realistic or hyper-realistic. It combines the text prompt into one piece for flux conditioning. Now, let's change the energy from purple to red. Instead of Roma, let's set the location to England, specifically London. In the video background locations text box, I'll specify medieval period, middle-age time in the tallest towers in London, showing the view from the towers to the cities. It's very easy to change scenes this way. After confirming all text prompts, you can start with text to image. I've defined all image generation features, text to image, with ControlNet, image to image, and Inpaint. These are the main methods I use for creating AI video scenes using Flux. There's also image to text for getting captions from forms too. But I don't connect this to the text prompt since I don't always like the generated result. I use it for reference only and modify the generated text before putting it into the text-to-image prompt. This workflow is like a Swiss Army knife or multi-tool, multiple features in one package. Let's try text-to-image first and see the output. I usually generate 2 images at once for text-to-image, picking the better one as a starting point. Sometimes we need to generate again if neither is good. This one looks like the winner of the two. We have the consistent face character from our previously trained Flux Lora models, and this will be our character for these scenes. The London background mentioned in the text prompt appears as expected, along with the red energy on the hands. To make the energy look cooler instead of just sparkling on the hands, we need to use Inpaint or image to image. For image to image, we'll enable this and copy the image from the text to image group. I'm using load image from path, but you could use general load image for simplicity. Since we're creating within the Flux workflow, we can just paste the image, which gets temporarily stored in your Comfy UI system. We have the same text prompts from the conditioning groups, so no need to retype everything. Just adjust seed numbers and denoise settings to test different results. Running this again shows different results. The image-to-image group generated more aggressive fire magic energy around the air. If you're still not satisfied, copy this again and go to the Inpainting features through the bypass group. Enable Inpaint and jump to the Inpaint group. Paste the image from image-to-image results and start working with Inpainting features. Here we have the mask editor to mask this region. You can make it more aggressive by expanding the mask region. The clip text is separate from the text prompt condition, running directly from Flux models and Flux clip models. We'll change the energy color to red and make it more aggressive. Let's check the Inpaint result. This first example shows the energy becoming fire on only one hand. We want it on both hands. We'll edit the text and try different seed numbers. Now we have better results from the Inpaint than before. Next step, since we don't need face swap or enhancement, we can skip those parts and instead add emotions like an evil smile. Let's go to the face expressions edit groups and enable it. We'll turn off other nodes but keep the Inpaint group for the source image. After pasting the image to the load image notes, we can adjust emotions. We'll work with the smile settings, raising the eyebrows slightly and adding a tilt. To make the eyes focus on the camera, we'll adjust that angle. Once we have our evil smile result, we need to refine the face since the live portrait expressions editor makes it slightly blurry. We'll use the refiner by sampling groups. We can bypass the Flux Inpaint while keeping the face expressions editor enabled. Enable the refiner groups and select the face express get note, which pulls from the facial expressions group output. We'll use general text prompts and run it for 15 steps with end steps at 20, leaving 5 steps to generate. Using random seed numbers allows different results. Our first try produced a nice outcome. For upscaling, we'll use the SDXL image upscalers. I group the models loader with the refiner by segmentations. For example, if you want to refine undetectable eyes or unsatisfactory hands, you can do that before passing to the upscalers. The final upscaling step doubles the image size. Now let's bring this to AI video generation. In Kling AI, I'm using version 1.5 models, which currently perform best. We'll select Image to Videos and drag our generated image in. For the motion, let's do Magic Burning the Sky as our text prompt. Looking at the generated result, Kling AI 1.5 maintains consistent, coherent face and outfit, along with the London background. The energy looks slightly odd in the first 2 seconds, but improves in the last 3 seconds with energy splashing from both hands. In another example using purple energy scenes in Minimax AI, the results look somewhat better, though the AI keeps animating mouth movements whenever it detects a mouth. This workflow allows creative ways to build image scenes for AI videos, with good control over character consistency, face, outfit, and background. The upcoming IP adapter release for Flux will add more flexibility similar to Stable Diffusion's image prompting for various segmentation regions or backgrounds. This workflow will continue to improve, especially with the upcoming additions. It serves as a multi-tool for AI video scene generation, with various basic image features available in the second row that I can choose from. After the initial generation, I can move on to facial expressions or face swap if I don't have Lora models, then refine the image and either upscale it or use SDXL segment B-Box to refine specific elements like hands. That covers the AI video workflow for creating image scenes. So I will see you in the next video. See ya.